so I've finally got my hands on Loki Prime. It took a while before I got all the parts, as I'm kind of busy doing some non-meta Eidolon hunts in the past week. But anyway, today we will be taking a closer look at this awesome stealth frame. More specifically, I will share to you guys on why I love this Warframe the moment I got my hands on it, and I will be sharing a good all-around build which requires no former at all. So, let's cut any long introduction and begin this video. To tell you honestly, I have played Loki Prime for just a couple of days and I did not invest any former or time on it yet. However, I feel that I have played this Warframe for a very long time now, even at zero former. I usually play with Ash, so I guess that is why I feel that way, but the difference is, Loki in my opinion, is more of a defensive stealth frame compared to Ash being an offensive firepower. When we take a look at his ability, it's more towards defending, rather than dealing damage. His first ability, Decoy, will create clone of himself, drawing enemy fire. His second is invisibility, which basically makes him invisible. His third is switch teleport, which basically lets you teleport to a target and swap positions instantaneously, and his last ability, radial disarm, will disarm enemies' range weapons, making them revert to melee combat. These abilities are basically for defensive purposes in my opinion. It's either used to defend yourself, defend an objective, or defend an ally. If you ask me, I find his second and fourth ability more useful than the rest. Loki's invisibility is so good because it can be prolonged up to 30 plus seconds, provided that you have lots of duration mods on it. And his fourth ability, radial disarm, is really good in terms of crowd control. Even at zero former, you can use the full potential of these two abilities, and that's the build that I will be sharing to you right now. This is a pretty simple build. Just throw in lots of duration so that Loki's invisibility will last longer. Now this is really important, as his second ability is what makes him alive. If you take a look at Loki's stat, you'll notice that he is really squishy. Low armor, health, shield, which basically makes him an easy target. So you need to rely most of the time in your invisibility to be alive. Now, I added quick thinking in the mix due to the fact that this is the only survivability mod I find to be useful with Loki. Most of the time, you are invisible, but there are certain times when you need to recast this ability, and quick thinking is a sort of safety net, so you can survive a few damage and go back to being invisible again. It's a good mod too while you're invisible, as there are certain scenarios that enemies will just randomly shoot and gets lucky to hit you, and there's those bombards with their explosive shots that can kill you even while you're invisible. And of course, pair it with primed flow. Now I did not choose to go with max duration, as I find 23 seconds enough for my playstyle. Instead of another duration mod, I added fleeting expertise on my build. Yeah, I know that it will lower my duration, but the thing is, I want to constantly keep my energy at max as often as possible for quick thinking to work. And, with the help of Zenuric's energizing dash, I can regain the lost energy in a few seconds while I'm invisible. So it's really a perfect fit for my playstyle. Also, I added overextended to get that range enough to CC enemies with my radial disarm within 24 meters. If I add an extra former on this build, I would add Cunning Drift on the Exilus slot for more range. Lastly, I also added Loki's invisibility augment, Hushed Invisibility. This augment is really amazing as it makes all your guns silent. Well, if you're using bow or any silent weapons, you don't need this, but if you are using loud weapons like the lens, Arcaplasma, Optica, or any of your favorite weapons, then I suggest that you try this augment. Overall, this is an all-rounder build which don't need any former, and it's a really good one which offers both survivability and crowd control. Take note that I tone this build towards my playstyle, and you can create your very own build for Loki. Just make this as your reference. I've tried a couple of build variation, and as well as the build I've showed to you earlier, and even at zero former, Loki proves to be a really good Warframe. Now this mission was the latest Sortie 3 mission with Eximus Stronghold condition. And, I just run this mission with these. I did 13 runs, doing this mission over and over again to see what build suits my playstyle, and within that time, I did not encounter any problem using Loki. This Warframe is really fun and easy to play, and I know now why some players consider themselves as Loki Masterrace. I mean, the moment you get a hold on this Warframe, you get addicted to it and you can't stop playing it. That's how fun Loki is for me. And I can't deny the fact that I'm becoming a Loki Masterrace too, using this Warframe in any mission, and I just can't seem to unequip it. I highly advise that you get Loki Prime now and try it out for yourself. Build it with lots of duration, some range and lots of efficiency, and tell me how good your experience is with this awesome Warframe. So that's it. Hope that you enjoy watching this video and find it informative. Before leaving, please do me a favor and hit that like button, and you can subscribe to my channel if it's your first time visiting here, and want to see more Warframe videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing out.